Hello guys, I'm Cole. And today I'm going to be talking about all the cool, crazy pets my family has. Over the past 10 years I've lived, my family has owned a pretty decent amount of pets. Oh, and when I mean decent, I mean my family owns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pets! Forget about having to pay for tickets to go to zoos. You can go to my house for free! I'm open 7 days a week and... Okay, so now on to the pets. The first pet my family ever owned was a dog named Murphy. Murphy, you see, isn't really the brightest dog in the world. The first day my parents got him, he ran into a trash can and ate a rock. Choked on it and spit it back out. Murphy also really stinks. Like, a lot. Last time Murphy breathed on another dog, he turned it to stone. And that was our first pet, Murphy. 9 years after we got Murphy, came along our pet bird, Squeaker. We named him Squeaker because he likes to squeak. And squeak. Yeah, he squeaks a lot. Okay, so now on to the stories. Squeaker likes to land on our head a lot, but me and my family don't really like that, so we kind of just brush him off. But he went on our heads so often that we kind of just forgot he was there. So one day, my dad was going to get milk. When he was walking out to his car, he heard the faintest. Squeaker was flying away! My dad hadn't realized Squeaker was on his head and walked out the door with him! Squeaker ended up landing on our neighbor's roof, but eventually 2 hours later, with the help of my dad, my grandfather's truck, a basketball, a ladder, my neighbors, and a few other people, we got Squeaker back home. And that was our second pet, Squeaker. 2 years after we got Squeaker came along our pet dog, Henry. My parents got Henry without me and my sister even knowing. So when Christmas rolled around, they were like, "Oh, kids, look what we got for you. It's another dog." Henry was just the cutest thing. Although he did poop in the house the first day he was here. But besides all that, he was the greatest, cutest dog in the world. Now, there's not many stories about Henry, because he's such a good dog, but there is one I remember. So one time I let Henry out, and 2 minutes later when I called for him to come back inside, he didn't. I told my family about this and they were like, "No, where's Henry?" and such. We couldn't find Henry anywhere. 5 minutes go by. No Henry. Just as my family was about to give up, we heard scratches at the front door. Guess who it was? It was Henry! We were so shaken by this moment that we didn't really even try to figure out how Henry got out. But the day after that happened, he got out a second time, so we really need to find out what the problem was. Not even kidding, 5 minutes into the search, we find a huge hole leading from one side of the fence to the other. Henry had dug a huge hole that must have taken at least a few days to make, only to come back to our house and get caught. 2 times! My dad covered up the holes with cinder blocks so he wouldn't have to create a new hole to fill up the other holes. And so, yeah, that was our third pet, Henry. 1 year after we got Henry came along our 2 longest lasting fish, Bones and Whiskers. Now there's not really much to say about them, 'cause they're fish. So that's why I'm going to talk about the past experiences I've had with fish. Yay! So a long time ago when I was like 4, my parents were feeling generous and decided to get me 5 fish. When I got the fish, I decided to name them after the Yo Gabba Gabba characters. Muno, Fofa, Broby, Toady, and Plex. School was starting in a few weeks, and I couldn't wait to tell all of my new friends. So one day it was like my nap time or something, and I was feeling a bit bored. When I was looking around my room for something to do, I noticed the fish tank. So I think to myself, maybe I should feed the fish. Spoiler alert, it was not a good idea to feed the fish that day. I had forgotten to feed my fish that morning, so I thought they were kind of hungry. So you know the little flaps on fish food containers that you can open to pour some fish food out? But I thought they were extra hungry, so like an idiot, I unscrewed the whole cap and dumped all the fish food into the fish tank. I was so proud of myself for doing this that I wanted to show my parents. As soon as my parents saw what I did, they started panicking. Oh, what did you do? I fed the fish. That's not how you're supposed to feed the fish. Well, I didn't know that. Someone call 911. Beep, boop, boop. We put all of the fish into little plastic baggies full of water so we could change the water in their fish tank. So apparently the chemical difference in the water was a super big change for them, because when we put them back into the new fresh water, they weren't used to it, so one by one, they all died. Now, I guess there is one thing I could say about the fish I have right now. They've lived the longest out of all of my other fish, mostly because I'm older and remember to feed them. But besides all that, they're easy to take care of. And those were the Yo Gabba Gabba fish and Bones and Whiskers. Maybe a year after we got the fish, came along our pet dog, Izzy. We got Izzy when our grandfather was moving, and he didn't really feel like spending money on a fence for her, so he kinda gave her to us. Now, between the time we've had Izzy and my grandfather had Izzy, there's been a few incidences. So here's one story. So one normal day, my grandfather let Izzy out. And when Izzy was let out, she noticed a raccoon had jumped the fence. She remembered my grandfather, how he had taken care of her all these years. So, like any normal dog would do, she attacked it! Now she just attacked this raccoon. And when the raccoon finally realized what was going on, holy crap. My grandfather said he had never seen a raccoon or a tiny dog like Izzy fight so hard. And my grandfather, the superhero he was, kicked Izzy away and scared off the raccoon. And that was our sixth pet, Izzy. 2 months after we got Izzy came along our pet rabbit, Pluto. Now, Pluto is a rabbit, so what is there really to say about them? They eat, they drink, they poop, they do that all day. But not our rabbit. Well, our rabbit does do all of those things, but there is one thing about our rabbit that makes our lives so much worse. So me and my sister have a Wii video game at our house, and we play it all the time. But our rabbit, every time we forget to put him away in his cage, he hops out of his cage, and he just chews the Wii cord. And no, he has not died or gotten hurt from doing this yet, but every time we forget to put him away, instantly goes to the Wii cord and he chews the heck out of it. And we're always mad about this because we just spent $15 2 days ago on the Wii cord he just chewed. And that was our final pet, Pluto. Hey, sorry it's been a little while since I've made a video, but school literally just started for me, and in the middle of drawing this animation, the tool that I animated it with broke. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Please leave a like and subscribe, and those were all of my pets. Peace!